Hi again, Sarah, speech therapist here, coming to you from a little bit different of a world than we've been used to. And because of that, I did want to do a video about teletherapy. I know everybody's kind of been rushing around trying to figure out how to make this happen so that we can keep ourselves and our patients and our families healthy, but still be able to provide the therapy that our patients need. So I'm going to review what I do. Just keep in mind that I only work with children. The oldest child I'm working with right now is 8. So a lot of these things might not transfer to older children or to adults as far as the materials that I'm using, but I think everything else is very similar because it's mostly just about platforms and flexibility and things like that. So first of all, there are a lot of different platform options, and your functionality and the things that you'll be able to do with your patient really do depend on what platform you pick. So do look into that and see what kinds of things you think are the most important to you, and try to pick a platform that reflects that. Just a note about those platforms though, teletherapy has been around for a little bit. However, with COVID-19, obviously we've seen a huge spike in the number of people interested in teletherapy and the number of people signing up for different teletherapy platforms, but some of them either might not be accepting new people to sign up because they're at their max, or when people do sign up, it kind of bogs them down a little bit too much and they're not able to support what you want to do. And then some of the platforms might not have as much functionality as you want. So that's kind of where I'm stuck, is I found a platform that is functional. It's not having any of the bugs that I've heard about in some of the other platforms, but the platform that I have doesn't allow me to give the patient control of the screen. But other than that, it does what I need it to do. It shows the client my face, I can see their face, they can hear me, I can hear them, and I'm able to show them the materials that I want them to use and respond to. Also, there's a lot of information going around about HIPAA compliance, and maybe that the rules are being laxed a little bit because of COVID-19 and the need for more virtual healthcare. And of course, HIPAA is what keeps our patients safe, but also protects us as well. It seems like it might just be more directed for healthcare professionals who are trying to help people who are directly impacted by COVID-19. But I'm just doing it to keep myself, my family, and my patients safe from getting it in the first place. All that to say, I don't know if the HIPAA rules are relaxed for speech therapists or not. And either way, I just went ahead and signed up for a platform that was HIPAA protected just in case. Because also, this is definitely a stopgap measure to deal with the situation that's going on right now. But in the future, once I start getting back into the houses with the kids, I might still want to use teletherapy for maybe patients that are in rural areas. So just a note, because even if HIPAA laws are relaxed now, they're not going to be relaxed forever. So the platform that I use has consent forms built into it, teletherapy specific consent forms. So that just automatically was sent to the patients, and the family was able to sign them virtually. And I have them saved in their files, so I feel like I'm pretty covered there. But as a home health therapist, I have paper visit logs that I have my families sign every time. So I've given the families a blank version of my visit log, and at the end of the session, I will tell them, the time that I'm writing down, and I'll have them write down the same times and sign it. And then when all this is over, I'll pick it up from them. So that's how I'm dealing with the signatures. I think that some platforms allow digital signatures. I think it's just another thing that you're going to have to figure that out, however it's going to work for you. Probably like most of you, I was thrown into this, right? So I wasn't expecting this to happen. Who was? And I needed to find something that worked quickly. So my top priority was finding a platform that was easy for my patients to use and was HIPAA compliant. And then everything else I just kind of figured out as I went. So I used the equipment that I already had. And, since then I've kind of been researching like how I want to build up. So this is what I do. And as you can see, I have my laptop kind of set up on just a little thing of drawers. I just found that was a good height to project the camera onto my face and get a good overall view. And then to the right of my laptop is my monitor, my second screen, which is really nice to have, but it's not necessary. What I do is I'll pull up the video on my laptop, and then on the right side on the monitor, I'll have multiple tabs pulled up of what activities that I want to work on with the kids as far as online activities. I have a microphone and it's plugged directly into my laptop. I already had that microphone and it seems to work really well. I have thought about getting a headset with a microphone so to block out any kind of background noise that might be happening. I do have my iPad there. I haven't been able to get my iPad to project or mirror onto my laptop, but it's not a huge deal. I just hold up the tablet into the screen and I show them like the app and we can play that way. And the last piece of equipment I have there is my external mouse. And I find that that is like really necessary because, my laptop is up so high that using my mouse pad on my laptop is really inconvenient. And having that mouse on the desk is super helpful so that I can toggle back and forth between things I want to share with them. So, some of these things aren't ideal, but it's been working pretty well for me. I've been doing teletherapy for 2 weeks, and a lot of my sessions have been almost just like the sessions I have in the home, but the physical contact is obviously different, not really there. So the platform that I use does have screen sharing available, so I can share a website with the child, and I can even bring up resources at, one of the sessions over and I'm talking to the family, I can bring up resources and show them versus just telling them, which is nice. I use a lot of the materials that I use in a regular session. I do have a visual schedule, especially right now. I've been starting my sessions with hand washing, which is very important. And then we can do all kinds of different things. This is just Velcro, so I can put on and take off any of them and put them in different orders. And then we can put them away into the pocket. And now it's time for our book. So, I've got my Pete the Cat books, which are really great. Pete the Cat has videos for, I think, all of their books where someone is reading them and turning the pages and doing the songs and stuff, and it's super fun. So we'll pull up the Pete the Cat book on the screen share and the video reads it to them. So it's a little bit less hands-on for me, which is nice. I get, I can take notes during that time. But it's nice because also I can pause the video. I can ask them questions about what's going on. I just feel like the video version of the books can be more interactive if you're not able to, have the book in your hand with the kid next to you. I also use books like this. I really like books that you can manipulate. I use interactive books in my, in-person sessions. And also I've been really liking them for teletherapy as well. Books like this where they have little pieces that come out and you plug in the one that you want in the story and then you can read the rest of the story. So, if the dinosaurs love to eat stinky socks, that's really fun. And so then I have these pieces that I can just hold up separately and they can name them, or we can work on articulation, or I can ask questions about the pictures. Like I said, I wasn't able to sign up for a platform that had all of the functions that I really liked, and one of those functions was a whiteboard. So I do have a whiteboard. One of my patients really loves Hangman, so I can play Hangman. I can just show this to him on the screen. I also ask that his mom has a paper and pen for him on his side so he can show me what his Hangman looks like and I can guess. Again, I am using materials that I use in any regular in-person session. So like articulation picture cards. I could easily take a picture of this and pull it up on a screen share, or I can find websites that have the pictures and the articulation that I want to work on. So it's just, I like to kind of combine different modalities in each session. So I want to do some screen sharing and website stuff. I want to do some face-to-face, and I want to do some hands-on materials, especially if it's something I can send to mom. So I can show mom these pictures, and these are the ones that we worked on today, and then I'm just going to send you a picture of it at the end of the session and y'all can practice that. That's home practice. So that's super easy. So this is a picture of me in the middle of a teletherapy session, and I am holding the book on my forehead because I want to stabilize it in the camera. Also, my eyes are kind of looking under the book and into my little video so that I can make sure that the book is in the right spot so the patient can see it, but also so I can read it from the camera. So I know that there's other ways to do this. there's document cameras and things like that. I just haven't gotten that far. In the interest of HIPAA, I have blacked out the face of the child in this session, but if you could see her face, she is like smiling and she is like leaning in to the camera and she is loving it. So that's really all that matters. As long as they're getting something from it, they're making progress, and it's not that much different on the camera. It was something I was concerned about, and I think maybe I have that advantage because I have worked with a lot of these kids for weeks, months. Some of them I worked with for years. So they're already used to me coming into their home, and now it's just like, oh, it's Miss Sarah. It's just in a different way. And one of my patients yesterday, mom told me when we were pulling up the video that she had asked about me before the video started. And then when I came on the screen, she kissed her screen, which just really touched me. So this was a quick switch for me. I did offer my patients like a 10-minute, make sure your webcam works, make sure your audio works, make sure you understand how this is gonna work. I offered it to them. Only one of my patients actually did that. Everybody else was like, let's just try it. And then it was basically plug and play from there. So I have done a little bit more prep work with the families at the beginning or end of the session. Hey, this is how it's going to go. Can you have, this available for them today? Or can you make sure that you're sitting right there in case something goes wrong? If there's an audio issue or the kid turns off the camera, I'm making it work. I mean, just to clarify, I do say I'm making it work, but I'm not just going off the cuff. I'm planning out my sessions. I'm making sure all of the materials are good. And I'm definitely not worrying about looking like an idiot, because that is a big deal. I try to look nice when I'm doing my therapy sessions, but I just stop caring as far as like, okay, maybe I look dumb holding this book on my forehead, but it's getting the job done, right? I do find myself having to be a little bit more animated than normal so that the kid can see how excited I am. If that's what it takes, then that's what I do. I let myself, do what I need to do to get the responses I need from my kids. As I said, teletherapy has been around for a while, and there are speech therapists who have been providing it as their only type of therapy for years now, and they have fought to get it to where it is and to get it to be recognized as a service that's equal to in-person therapy. The therapy that you're providing virtually should be commensurate with what you're providing wherever you normally see the patient. Face-to-face, targeting the goals that you had in their plan of care, and giving the family the practice for them to progress. Teletherapy meets a lot of needs, and I know right now it's necessary for many of us because of COVID-19, but once this is over, there's still going to be people who do teletherapy as their main type of therapy, and we don't want to water it down and make them take 20 steps back. We want to keep providing the top level of service that we always have. This is your profession, this is our license, and it is important. So I hope that you keep that in mind. And again, there are so many resources out there. This is hopefully just one more resource that you're looking into. Personally, I got really overwhelmed, so that's part of why I wanted to make this video, just give you all places to look. Kind of a checklist, if you will, and then also show you like what I'm doing and how it's working, even though I don't have all the fancy equipment. There's so many CEUs right now that are free, helping with teletherapy situation, since it is such an extreme disaster situation that we're having to learn this as we go. There are so many seasoned teletherapy providers out there that are sharing their resources, and most of them are for free, which is amazing. Everybody's just really coming together in this time to help our fellow SLPs and in turn help those patients that really need us, even if we can't be there physically with them. So do take advantage of those resources, those CEUs. If you don't feel like you're doing a great job, reach out to someone and ask for help. And it's probably that you just don't feel comfortable. As long as you feel like your patients are engaging with you and you feel like they're making progress, you're probably doing just what you need to do. So I hope this was helpful. And everybody, just stay home and stay safe. Thank you to all the people who don't have the luxury of staying home, and thank you to all those people who are staying home. And I know it's rough, especially for the people who aren't able to work right now. So we should consider ourselves really lucky as speech therapists if we're able to do teletherapy during this time, which is a pretty big blessing right now. I know a lot of people have been affected by this, and it's just really hard to see. So stay strong, you can do it, and stay home. Bye, guys.